Right, needless to say, there's a lot of controversy about this fight. The boxing world is ripping each other apart over the scoring of this fight. Um, First and foremost, we got hardcore, die-hard Canelo fanboys who are unwilling to even acknowledge the idea that anyone could have scored this fight for Trout unless they were extremely biased. Right? Those are the kind of people we got. The hardcore Canelo fanboys and the people, the usual scumbags and sad people who are just trying to defend their prediction because they predicted Canelo to win. So these scumbags, sad fanboys are coming on here screaming and shouting at anyone who had Trout winning the fight. You get me? These people are pathetic, man. It's just a boxing match, but, people always want to defend their predictions. There was one clown, all I can say about this guy is that he must be a homosexual because the sexual desire that he has for Canelo Alvarez can only be explained, by saying he is a homosexual. He commented on my prediction change video because I changed my prediction at the last minute for Canelo against Trout. And he started screaming. He was getting all emotional and, shouting and screaming. And he was angry at me for changing my prediction, angry at me for predicting Trout to win the fight. This guy was literally, he was in a homosexual rage, this guy. When you see a guy getting emotional and angry because you pick a certain fighter to win a fight, that shows you that he's not a real boxing fan, that he's just a fanboy, someone with a homosexual agenda, and anyone who picks against his darling, his pin-up, his heartthrob, anyone who picks against his heartthrob is hating and, don't know anything about boxing, etc., etc. So, obviously, I don't take people like that seriously. He's a clown, he's a pussy, whatever, let those kind of people be where they are. And then, like I said, there are a lot of people just defending their prediction because they picked Canelo to win, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, how could you think Trout won? You're just defending your prediction, Hatman, because you thought, Trout would win, but he didn't win. Canelo won fair and square. It was clear Canelo won." Then there's those people, and then you get fans like me who are completely neutral, fans who can see through all the bullshit, fans who don't have a biased agenda, real boxing fans, like me, people who are in the minority. All right? Now, real boxing fans may have seen the fight a different way to me. Real boxing fans may have said, "Oh, I thought Canelo just nicked it. I thought Canelo just had it." Or they might say, "Oh, I thought Trout just nicked it." Right? Or I thought Trout won the fight outright. All right? Real boxing fans understand that a lot of the rounds in this fight was open to interpretation. All right? A lot of the rounds in this fight was open to interpretation. The fight certainly was not clear-cut in any particular, way, because so many of the rounds were vague. All right? So many of the rounds were vague. Trout was throwing a whole lot of pity-patty punches, and Canelo was throwing a whole lot of nothing in a lot of the rounds, all right? Just landing one or two clean shots here and there. So the rounds was open to interpretation. And because so many of the rounds were open to interpretation, that is why people have ended up having, even neutral people like myself have ended up having vastly different scores. All right? Now, a lot of people, like I said, thought this fight was a robbery. On my Facebook timeline, it was full of people, right, saying this fight was a robbery. Absolutely full of people, right? Even other YouTube channels, No Holds Barred, he believed the fight was a robbery. All right? A lot of other people thought this fight was a robbery. Now, if you notice, I never went as far as saying this fight was a robbery. All right? You never heard me utter those words. I thought Trout won the fight comfortably after the first time I watched it. Yeah? But I do realize that the commentators, had Alvarez winning, apart from one of them who had it a draw. I think Al Bernstein had it a draw, right? Commentators had him winning the fight. Trout himself didn't complain about the decision. I looked at all these things and I said, you know what? The fight really is open to interpretation. Maybe I need to look at the fight again, because I judged the fight honestly, unbiasedly, completely fairly the first time I watched it. But like I say, I watched it on a live stream, on a laptop screen. It wasn't the greatest quality. Maybe there was things in there that I missed. Maybe second time around I'll catch them and I'll see the fight as closer. Or maybe, God knows, I might see it for Alvarez. I'll have to watch the fight a second time to see it. All right? But I am approaching this fight, as I approach all fights, in a level-headed fashion, unemotional. Whereas, you know, a lot of these fanboys out here are emotional, they're screaming, they're showing their true, you know, homosexual nature. And like I say, I ain't being derogatory by calling people homosexuals. Hey, whatever floats your boat. It's 2013. If you're a homosexual, you're a homosexual. But that is the behavior that people are displaying. Is homosexual behavior, emotional, you know, bitchy, feminine behavior. They don't seem to have the ability to be rational when it comes to these kind of things like boxing matches. They let their emotions and all these kind of things get involved and start attacking people and screaming and shouting. You know, I ain't attack no one over this fight. Now, in terms of my prediction, yes, I did change my prediction. I predicted Trout to win, and the fight I saw was Trout pretty much outworking Canelo throughout the whole fight. But in terms of, you know, me defending my prediction, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I don't care. This is just this is just fun to me. This is just a bit of a, you know, a bit of a hobby to me. I don't take this shit seriously. If I get a prediction wrong, it's no big deal. Last weekend, I predicted I predicted Donaire to knock out Rigondeaux. That was my prediction. I got it wrong. Did you see me coming on here saying, "Oh well, you know what? I thought that Donaire probably won the fight. It was a close fight." No, I think I only gave Donaire about 3 rounds in that whole fight. I thought the fight was a whitewash for Rigondeaux. I thought he absolutely schooled Donaire. I didn't see the fight as close in any way. All right? So if I was someone that wanted to defend my predictions, surely I would have done it then, but I didn't. I gave Rigondeaux full credit, full praise. Absolutely, he whitewashed Donaire. Wasn't a close fight in my eyes. All right? If I'd seen the same thing in this fight, if I'd seen Alvarez winning the fight by a big margin like a lot of people seem to think he did, then I would say so. Yeah, I've got no problem doing that. I was not you know, coming down on the Trout side or on the Canelo side before this fight. I just wanted to see a good fight. I didn't really care who won. All right, I was in 2 minds about who was going to win for the whole time I was predicting the fight. That's why I changed my prediction at the last minute, because really and truly, I didn't know what was going to happen. I saw it as a close fight either way. That's how I saw it coming into the fight. All right? So if I really wanted to defend my prediction, I would have gone in and said, whoa, you know, it was a close fight, but I didn't. I thought Trout won by quite a margin, to be honest with you. First time watching it. But like I say, I'll watch the fight again. I'll rescore it again. Yeah. And I'll give you my score again. And see if it's different this time watching it on a big screen, you know, not on a laptop screen, looking closely, seeing for what really goes on. But like I say, real boxing fans like myself and those other true boxing fans out there who are unbiased and who can understand that the rounds are open to interpretation, we are the people who are staying level-headed. We ain't throwing insults around. We ain't getting upset. We ain't gloating. We ain't doing none of that, right? Very, very, I feel like literally in the YouTube boxing community, I'm one of the very few unbiased fans, man. It's sad that there's that many emotional people out there either gloating or raging or doing whatever the hell they want to do. It's very sad. You get me? But it, you know, it is what it is, man. This is the level of degenerates that actually follow the sport of boxing these days. And for those people who are interested to find out how I scored the fight and how I'm going to score the fight on second viewing, if you add me on Facebook, I'm going to post a video of me commentating over the fight. I'm going to post the fight on my Facebook, a video of me commentating over it. I'm not going to post it here on my YouTube channel because of copyright infringement and what have you. But I will add it on my Facebook, all right, for anyone to go have a look at. If you want to add me on my Facebook, I'll pretty much accept anyone. Or add my boxing group. All right, go to my boxing group, which is Hatman Boxing on Facebook. If you don't want to add me as a friend, just add yourself to my request me to add you to my Facebook boxing group, which is Hatman Boxing, and I'll post it in there. Right, I'm gonna do it today. I'll probably post it in 4 segments, 4-round segments, 4-round segments. You know, over the 12 rounds, and I'll be commentating and scoring the fight. You know, so you can hear exactly my thought processes and why I'm giving certain rounds to certain fighters. And I may score it different next time. It just depends what I see, right? So add me on Facebook or, request to be added to my Hatman Boxing group. And then you'll see my scoring process in there. And like I say, I know there's a lot of rage, a lot of emotion, a lot of homosexual lust going on. around this fight, as is always the case with these major fighters. This is how it is. I've got no problem with someone thinking that maybe Canelo just nicked it. You know, people who I respect, like Al Bernstein and, you know, people like that, saw this as a close fight. They definitely didn't see Trout winning by a big margin. That's cool. I can understand that. Blood boxing, right? I know he's a neutral observer. He don't have any agenda. He scored this as a close fight. You understand? A lot of people I respect, a lot of people who I know are neutral people and don't have an agenda. A lot of these people have scored it as a close fight, right? A lot of people thought that Canelo just nicked it. They thought he was close. They understand it's open to interpretation. Those people I'm 100% cool with. It's the fanboys and those who are upset that anyone could see anything but Canelo winning. Those are the people who literally are just mentally retarded, right? These people have got serious issues, man. You know what I mean? And these are the people I'm really addressing in this video. You understand? These people just need to just take a chill pill. Yeah, realize that this is just a sport. Take the emotion out of it. Stop having these homosexual feelings for these fighters, or at least stop letting your homosexual desire for these fighters cloud your judgment when it comes to scoring. Right? Cloud your judgment when it comes to, you know, other people having a different opinion to yourself. You get me? So anyway, let me end this video right here. I'm sure the rage is going to continue, and you know, what will be will be. All right. So hit me up in the comments. This is Hatman. I'm out.